Hey everybody, we are out on the showroom floor at the Handbuilt show, and I am here with my sister from another mister, Karlee Cobb.
Hello.
She is one of the invited builders here at the show. We're both from South Dakota, so we have a lot of history together. Brian Clockworks is kind of like my pseudo-dad, I guess you could say.
Look at you.
Yeah, and it's weird because he would send me messages for many, many years about like how much of an inspiration I was to you. Which
absolutely.
Sometimes I just like to build stuff and I don't think about the impact that I make on the rest of the world. But I've known Karlee probably since she was about this
11,
big. Yes.
sure.
And it is amazing to see you grow up and become your own builder.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I mean, a lot of it to do with the women that I am surrounded with, and obviously Brian, my stepdad, has taught me a lot. So you are an inspiration. Very much so.
Well, thanks. Well, it's obviously paying off because we have this beautiful Indian Scout that you built.
Yes.
Tell me about this bike.
So Indian, of course, came to me and said, hey, we're willing to give you another bike, because I did build an Indian Scout, and it was actually in the show a couple years ago. But they said for that one, just do anything aesthetic. So if someone bought a Scout, they could go to their garage and buy the parts that you put on your old Scout and build their own bike. And this one, they were like, do whatever you want. And so I basically wanted to make something that could fit my size, because I'm pretty small. I mean, like, you're small, but
She's little. She's
but
pint size.
yeah, we were just discussing how she's a whole head taller than me. Not the case. But yeah,
She
doesn't
says we're the
happen.
same size.
We are. So they said basically do whatever you want, and I wanted to build something small. So I actually went together with Jessi Combs from Twisted Choppers in Tea, South Dakota, because I want to keep it local. I love my locals. And so he basically said, let's build something small. I'm more than willing to help you with that. So he built this beautiful frame sized up for me. So when I actually sit on it, it looks perfect. Where if someone that was 6 foot tall, they look ginormous. It's insane how big they look. Even if it's someone that's 5'7", they look huge on this bike, because I'm a whopping 5'2". So when we built up this frame, it was perfect. And then I kind of just designed stuff. Design meaning I drew on a napkin kind of deal around it, because I don't understand all the computer engineering, not my thing.
Right.
And so I just drew up all this stuff, and Jason threw it onto the computer and, would bring it right out. Next time I would go to his shop, he'd have a lot of it done, and I'd tell him, like, whether I liked it or not, just the design work of it. But he allowed me to help him with a lot of it, and basically the radiator, I got to size up how big I wanted that in there, because the radiators on the, the stock Scouts are pretty stinking big. Like, it's the first thing you see when you walk up to a Scout. So I was happy that I got, a small one that fit right into this tiny little frame.
And it does its job. It actually cools the engine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, for sure. And then he allowed me to chop and weld the tank, which back in the day when I met Jessi, the first thing I wanted to do was weld, and it never worked out perfectly with our schedules, because, Jessi's busy and I'm busy as well. So Jason actually helped me welding for the first time, and I can say that I didn't do that bad. So I actually took about 1.5 inches out of both sides. This is the Indian Scout stock tank, but I took 1.5 inches out of both sides, and this is the stock middle part.
Okay.
And so I took it out, put it all back together to just make it skinnier, but I still wanted it to have like the Scout look, because it's probably about the only thing besides the radiator that has, and the motor of course, that has the Scout look. But the motor even as well is fully polished, and Steve from Elite Polishing actually put 1,500 hours into polishing this motor.
Thank God it's somebody else. If there's one job that I do not like doing, it's sanding and polishing.
That and wiring. I don't do wiring either. That is a pain. And that was another one thing that I had no idea where do you put wiring on this clean bike?
Yeah.
So I actually had Randy from the shop make this kind of makeshift oil pan, and all the wiring's actually in there, which wasn't an easy test to do.
Okay, so that's not actually an oil bag.
Nope, that's where all the wiring is.
It's like your electrical component box.
Yes, it is.
Right
it is.
on.
And I
Okay.
mean, there is a lot of wiring in there. It's insane. Like, if I could actually just take that off and show you guys, you'd be like, oh my goodness. And if there's anyone out there that's worked on an Indian Scout, they would know that there's a lot of wiring in there. So.
Okay, so when you're building the bike, the first thing that you wanted is size.
Yes,
That's what you're
absolutely.
going for,
Yeah,
right?
and Indian like that too, because not only were they working on millennials buying the Scouts, but like women my size.
Yeah.
They really want to hit that market, so.
And you wanted a chopper.
I wanted a chopper, a
Hardtail?
little rigid, yes, rigid chopper, and
Okay.
it is. I haven't rode it that far because Indian had it on the IMS tour, so it was like I've got maybe 15, 20 miles out of it, and
What?
it was a solid, hard 15, 20 miles
let her
out
go
of it.
free?
when I get her back, she's been on this tour for a while, and I had her for like 2 days, and we got like 24 inches of snow back home, so obviously it wasn't going to work out.
Go South Dakota.
So yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to take her out. I'm so excited because she's loud and ready to go. Like, she flies.
Yeah?
She's
Did
fun.
you do any upgrades to the motor, or is that stock motor?
Nope, stock motor.
Okay, stock motor, obviously after, did you guys build the pipes?
Yes. Jason from Twisted Choppers did that as well.
Okay.
So I drew that up on the bike, on the bar napkin kind of deal, drew that up, and he mastered it perfectly.
This is fantastic. It's a very, very clean bike.
That's all I wanted. I was so simple. I even wrote on my little interview, like, it's clean and simple and shiny, and that's, you know, a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of people, when it goes on the IMS show, these people actually don't know much about custom bikes. They just like to go see them. They're just like the townspeople that just want to go see them. So I was like, at least it's shiny. Like, it's shiny, people will walk up, and then if you're standing there, you can answer more in-depth questions if they ask you.
Sure.
But the shiny catches them. And I'm such a black girl. Like, I love everything to be black, so I'm like, black. It's going to be black.
So what made you choose red then?
Well, because Clockworks is based around a lot of red, and I've never actually liked it. Sorry, Brian Clock, but I actually don't like the red very much. And all my other bikes are straight earth tones. Like, that's it. Earth tones, earth tone green, sand brown, whatever it is.
Right.
But since everything else was so shiny, I'm like, I better do like a candy apple red, because, I mean, that does catch your eye. No matter what you walk by that's red, you're like, ooh, stop, look.
I have learned that in all of the bike shows that I've entered.
Yeah,
the shinier and the brighter and the more colorful the bike is,
They stop, even if they don't know anything.
even if they don't know anything, or even if it's like literally like a pile of junk, they're like, oh, that's pretty and shiny. Exactly.
It's great. And then I love gold leaf, so I just did a little offset variegated gold leaf on this one. So
it's beautiful, and I love how it's integrated into the logos of the Indian logo and the Clockworks logo.
Yes.
And just like nice little fine touches hidden all over the bike.
And I'm happy my paint guy knew exactly what I wanted, because I literally, once again, drew it on a piece of paper and was like, can you nail this? Can you do it? Because he lives in T as well, in South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't drive there all day to talk to him.
Right.
And so I was sending him pictures of my drawings, and I was like, can you handle this, Brad? Like, can you handle this? And he's like, oh yeah, I think I got you. You do it to me every time I paint for you.
No
okay,
problem.
Good.
No problem.
Full trust.
So now this is not your first bike. Let's go back to that. How many bikes have you actually built now?
This would be my third, but this was like the fully custom one.
Okay.
All the other ones were strictly like aesthetic stuff. I did a Triumph for the Tony Hawk Foundation that they auctioned off to actually Perry Farrell.
Okay.
And then I did the other Indian Scout that I still ride around. So if anyone has me on social media, I ride around. It's called Outrider. So it's, I mean, that one's pretty stock too. I just threw on a couple little parts so we could sell it at Clockworks for other Indian Scouts. So a lot of them have been like a marketing tool for our business at Clockworks.
Sure. But this is just a perfect example of, you can take really any motorcycle and you can do some simple modifications.
Absolutely.
Or you can literally take an engine and build a full-blown bike around it.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is not your typical application because of the radiator, which is something completely unique. It was like, I built a BMW R9T, and it was a completely different building experience, because for the first time I got to build out because of the boxer engine, so I could make a wider bike, and I didn't have to worry about the width of the fairing and the handlebars and all that kind of stuff. So trying to find space for a radiator and that kind of stuff is...
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how much like I learn as I go do it, because I am an accountant at the shop. I'm not the custom builder, but I've been in the world for, 12 years now. So I love when I get to do hands-on stuff. And like I said, it's not my job, so I don't get to do it all the time unless if I'm asked to do it. Then I like grab onto it, and I'm like a little sponge, and I learn so much from it and from all the guys at the shop. So it's great. I love it.
It's great to be in that environment. And even if you don't have an environment where you can learn from those people on a daily basis, there's tons of shops probably in your area that you guys can go to and learn and ask the questions and, be humble.
And I love to do it.
Yeah, take your ego out of it.
Don't let our sport die.
No.
Like, go learn if you want to learn.
It's really amazing how many builders we don't have these days. Yeah. You would think that with 140 builders at a show like this, and how many motorcycle shows we have and car shows and hot rod shows that go beyond just motorcycles, how little builders there really are.
And especially my age. I'm only 24, so when I actually did this bike, and why I did it so quickly is because Michael Lichter asked me, like, hey, it's your year. Like, I've known you since you were little. You said you wanted to be in the show. This is your year. We're going to do it for you guys, like you younger generation. And so he, did the whole show based on, like, 32 years and younger. And so, it was insane how great those guys were, but a lot of them weren't well known. Like, they they just do it on their own. So yeah, I was happy to see all of them there, and a few of them are here now at the show as well. So it's great.
Another female builder, Jay Shia, which we will be interviewing
she is
later.
Wonderful. You guys don't miss out on that.
Yes, but both of those bikes, this bike and Jay's bike, were both debuted at the Young Gun Show at Michael Lichter's in Sturgis this year, or just this past year. So, well, Karlee, it's been amazing watching you grow up and become something other than this cute little chick that just kicks ass in life, but that actually like applies knowledge and information and passion into everything that you do. So
thank you, Jessi. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you guys at the Handbuilt show as well.
All right, we'll see you guys with some more builders coming up.